And so then where do you see like the people who are doing it well, what are they doing? Are they creating a separate space? Are they like what are the people who are seeing the best returns doing? Is it just high volume? If someone wants to do this, how do they do it well?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And I think, my recommendations are, first of all, let's start with what a player I think really wants. A player wants to go and sit in front of a game terminal and be entertained, and they want to
Mm,
do that in a nice, clean space, right, where they can have some
right.
privacy in so doing. So, to your point, yeah, a little separate room, off the main floor is really an ideal setup.
Mm,
If you've got one, great. If not, build one, right? Because
right.
again, the payback's there. This is a good part of the business, right?
Yeah.
And then, the other thing is you got to keep those machines clean. It's so funny. Like we have the opportunity to go out on a lot of locations, and here in our state, for example, there a lot of the locations include convenience stores or gas stations or whatever.
Right.
And and some of those are just absolute pigsties. I mean, I want to wear my rubber gloves when I,
Yeah.
you
Right.
know, and that's all on the operator. You can't
Yeah.
force them to do it. But picture yourself if you've got the choice of two locations, which one are you going to go into?
Right.
Obviously the nicer, cleaner one. So that's a big thing and a great way to get this. And I think like this. Think about it, sort of setting up like a mini casino, area within it, and you've got the nice clean, the lighting's just right, meaning on a little bit on the dimmer side.
Hmm.
You've got some music playing, right? There are, here's a thing that a lot of people do that have that setup. They'll offer, like a complimentary, Coke or water, right? Because you're just sitting there playing, right? So again, you're just kind of making the players feel like they're getting their money's worth, they're being entertained, right? So it's another good way to look at it. And then, where do I see it going? I really see this becoming more, as laws continue to favor this, and again, meaning that I think in general that basically means is, as long as the state is playing in, the cash box here, they're going to be happy, meaning they're getting their tax revenue, right?
Right.
And if that happens, it should continue to grow along the lines of what, basically a casino is doing, right? Only in areas that people can't travel there, or it's not convenient for them to go to Vegas or go to
Hmm.
Atlantic City, right, or wherever else these places are, right? But they can go to their local, bar, pub, bowling center, in this case, wherever, and have that same experience, right? So if you build that attraction, they'll come. Secondly, I would like to see more promotional, and it's there are some products, and we're actually helping to develop some products that'll do this, to where you can promote your business and attract players in, rather than just sort of sit there and hope people see your little sign that's in your center, right? So what does that mean? It means like maybe some push notifications, right, to your cell phone, right, that's text, hey, come on in today. We're going to add XYZ to your gameplay. Things like that I think will help promote this business and make it, more of something that becomes mainstream, compared to where it was, way back when it was on the other side of the track, so to speak.
Right. Now, is there different legality as far as the advertising for those?
Yeah, there is. And again, I think it really has to do with the value of things that you're offering. I'll bring up another type of this gaming that is legal, and I think the way that they make sure that people stay within the law. There's a category that's called sweepstakes games, right? That basically the premise behind it, Forrest, is that a player can walk up to a machine and have the opportunity to get something without putting money into the machine.
Hmm.
So in this case, what it basically means is that there's a coupon that the machine will issue that has some value to it, and what that value is might be some points or a discount on a website that sells particular things, like uh, let's call a small appliance, a toaster type thing, a blender or something like that, right? So, for example, you'd go on that website and you see a $60 toaster, but I've got this coupon that offers me $5 off, right? And that coupon came from a game terminal that's operating as a sweepstakes machine. So that's one, one way of that this is, legalized, and make sure that it's not being operated, as a sort of a cash only device.
Gotcha. I see. So that does change a little bit about what you can do to promote and get people in.
Right. Now, and technically speaking, sweepstakes category games are legal across, the whole country and all 50 states, But again, every local town, city, et cetera, has the opportunity to roll that out. Right. So it's just, again, do your homework, and talk to people that are doing it now. Right. Get referred to some, experts, and make sure you're covering your bases.
Right. Yeah, I think it's a big opportunity, especially if you're looking for additional product lines, revenue streams, and you have the volume. I think it's a no-brainer to add something like this, as long as it's the legalities there.
Yeah, and I'm particularly intrigued by the bowling center opportunities, just because we haven't done a lot of business with that, at least that we know of, right? I mean,
Mm.
we a lot of times we sell to operators and don't know where games go, right? So that's interesting, but I don't think that's the case. And if it is, then this should be a pretty wide open opportunity, for areas where these are legal, and I can easily see a bowling center putting in a group of these games and doing quite well,
Mm.
for people that are there, bowling, they're between games or they're not bowling, right? They're done and they just want to go do this for a while. So I think it's a tremendous opportunity to look into.
Hey, did you like this video? Great. We make 10 of them a week. Subscribe to learn more and keep learning about what's working in the industry. Talk to you then.